Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. Don't be gross.
Showers.
Daniel, Griggs.
I'm Daniel.
And this is Repeal Reserve. So we're tapping into the whole thing where they said whiskey's no good.
Wait, what?
The thing back in the day with the laws.
Oh,
The prohibition.
I love how your synopsis of prohibition was that thing back in the day where they said whiskey's no good.
Am I wrong?
That's the
every bit of that sentence is correct.
Yeah, it's partial, but I mean fracture.
Well, I'm not Wikipedia. I'm not
fraction.
I'm not going to give an exhaustive play-by-play of prohibition.
This is a gift from Kyle and Jessica Brucker.
Kyle and Jessica Brucker. Kyle and Jessica Brucker, you magnificent bastard.
I'm kind of excited about this one, actually. This is a 92% rye from a distillery in Wisconsin. The first one in Wisconsin since Prohibition. I think we've done some stuff from them before.
Okay.
It's one barrel that they release 5 years old, and they release it on December 5th when you celebrate the repeal of Prohibition.
Was they supposed to do that?
Celebrate it on December 5th?
I didn't realize that was the thing we're supposed to do.
Yeah, I was kind of busy that day too. I forgot.
Like I didn't know there was a day that people actually got
all together and celebrated. It's more important than Christmas. I'm just saying.
I feel like I'm not doing whiskey right now. Okay, all right.
Okay, so I am getting like big brand classic rye, not like small batch craft rye on the nose. Like
I am too.
Big, round, beautiful.
It's not super crafty, but
super simple. 45% alcohol.
There's a really nice, that sweetness swells up, and it's nice and prominent, along with, let's say, the words. The herbal rye spice, classic rye.
Has all the classic spicy notes that you would find in the nose of rye. But there is something else.
And I would say more rice spicy than herbal. More rice spicy than herbal. More of that. But that sweetness swells up. Is that like a sweet tea on the nose?
No, it's cornbread.
Cornbread.
What's weird because there's no corn. There's almost no corn in this, or no corn at all. I think there's no corn, but there's this like, and it's not just any cornbread. You used to get this cornbread in the bag from Marie Callender's, and it was already sweet.
Okay.
Right. It was like a sweetened cornbread. Like you didn't even have to put honey or anything on it.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of that.
So sweet cornbread,
which is ironic because we're drinking a rye. I mean, and again, I'm saying past all of the classic rye nose.
Right.
Sweet.
So
sweet bread.
Just a quick detour. The correct kind of cornbread for you, is this a sweet cornbread or a not sweet cornbread?
Not sweet cornbread that I then sweeten before I eat it.
How do you sweeten it?
You can put honey on it or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Or like you can do honey butter on cornbread. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Because
in the South, like real cornbread is not sweet.
No.
And your tea is very sweet.
Yeah. So actually what I really love is cornbread and red beans and rice. One of my favorite meals.
Isn't that more of like a Louisiana thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And so you get, I just take a chunk of cornbread and drop it in the bowl with red beans and rice and eat it one at a time.
I like to get some spicy sausage in there sometimes. All right, back to the whiskey.
Back to the whiskey. Anyway, this is not a cornbread review show.
Can it be?
I think that'd be a very short-lived season.
Two episodes.
Jiffy and Marie Callender's. And something your mom made.
Yeah, again, that sweetness I was picking up on the nose.
There it is.
It shows up on the taste.
It's way more sweet tea. And then there's a spice that I wouldn't attribute to herbal or rye spice, but more to barrel woody spice.
So you got the woodiness.
I got like right in the front third, and then it softened into that sweetness. It's like in the front third of the sip, there was like a barrel woody spice.
Daniel got a woody.
But only the front third.
It's the taste of half-mast. And then, God, there's
I'm trying to, so no one's going to get this.
No, they're not. Okay.
I'm trying to think of a rye.
Something to compare it to. There's something along with that rice spice. It's not a leather shop, but it's like a country western store type of vibe.
Is it peanut butter?
Maybe.
Honeyed peanut butter?
Maybe.
I think that might be it.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of a peanut dust.
I wonder if it Pikesville.
So here's the thing. This is, to our earliest point, not far off from big brand classic rye flavors, but these feel like they're more thick and dense with those flavors. I think the bigger brands are usually going to prove it down a little bit more. What is the proof on this?
45.
45. Wow, it actually has more richness in those flavors than I would have expected at 45.
All right, so here's the thing. Pikesville, much easier to get.
Yeah.
And I always remembered Pikesville as having this peanut butter note, really strong peanut note in it.
Yeah.
And it helped me actually differentiate it quite a few times in rye trio tastings.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this one has that peanut butter. Oh, this is probably Pikesville.
Oh, I see that.
So I went to it to see if that peanut butter actually was what I was tasting, and I don't think it is. So the Pikesville is a much more perfumey nose.
Right.
Like pick that up again and compare to that one.
Yeah.
Pikesville, way more perfume.
And I actually
dense.
get more of like a sweet oakiness now in that Pikesville.
Yeah.
Well, both are really nice. Like, I kind of really like that, right? They didn't veer too off center stage. And they have, even at that relatively low proof, enough thick, rich, I want to say voluptuous, but I can't bring myself to say voluptuous when it comes to rice spice.
Yeah.
Rice spice.
It's so voluptuous.
It's not a voluptuous note,
Okay,
but that dense, thick type of flavor. Yeah. All right, Michael Hicks.
Wait. I'm going to add a little water in here for you.
Yeah, let it settle. Water. We got the Michael Hicks. This might be a dumb question. What's the right ratio for whiskey and ginger ale or a Coke? What's your preferred?
See, I like this question because if you go to a bar, the standard is just going to be a shot into a glass of Coke. And here's the depressing thing is you're never guaranteed what kind of glass they're going to serve it in.
Right.
And so inevitably your proportions are never consistent. So sometimes I'll serve it in a Tom Collins, that tall thin glass. Sometimes I'll serve it in like a bar old fashioned glass.
Yeah.
I've seen somebody serve it one time in like a pint glass. And I was thinking like, okay, either that was way too much whiskey in that whiskey Coke, or that doesn't taste, you're not going to taste the whiskey at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I have two questions for the tribe.
Yeah.
One, what is the correct proportion?
Yeah.
Because I think it's a 1-to-3 ratio.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's what I do.
1 part, 2 part.
Yeah.
1 part whiskey, 2 part Coke.
Yep.
Relative to, or whatever.
Yeah.
But how do you guarantee that ratio at a bar?
Tell them.
Or do you just give it up?
You just say 1/3 whiskey. How about 1 shot of whiskey, 2 shots of Coke?
Oh! Yes, done. Let's do that.
2 shots of Coke?
Yeah, it's like, and then 1 shot of happy, 2 shots of sad.
That Pikesville, that's, when I go back to it, it's much sweeter and lighter and fruitier.
Yes.
Than this is more rice spicy on the Repeal Reserve.
Oh man, the water opened up that nose like crazy.
Did you put some in mine?
Yes.
Ooh.
Right?
Wow, there's almost like a malty beer note on that nose now.
And it almost gets that wickery kind of note.
Yeah.
Oh, the taste is gone. Well, just totally gone.
Compared to where it was.
Yeah. The nose got magnificent.
Yeah.
Nose improved by 50%.
The taste, it's there. It's just it just had the volume dialed down, quite a bit. But even at that watered down proof, there's some whiskeys we've tried that at higher proofs don't have nearly as much flavor.
I agree.
Yeah.
I am well done. If I had to pick one from these guys, this is great.
Doug Martin, I will be going to South Africa in a few months. Any good whiskey I should look for? South African whiskey.
We have a couple, and but the thing is, I never know whether what we get is the good whiskey from South Africa or just the whiskey we can get from people who've sent it to us.
Are there many whiskeys?
There's a handful.
Daniel, you don't need to look. I'll remember. Baines. Do you remember Baines?
Nailed it.
I remember
Baines. Wow, your mind is like a steel trap.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
You steal me, you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.